Look, not gonna lie, I'm here. Okay, shush music. There we go. Wait. Yeah, no. Far out. All right. Good evening, all. So, Blender to Unreal Engine has been the bane of my existence this week. For those of you who remember, this ship was actually blue, but now I'm trying to convert it over to Unreal Engine, and all the imperfections are coming out, especially now that obviously using it gets stuffed. To another mic. Wrong mic. Where? Well, that's that one. Oh, ploppers. Crud. Wrong mic. Here we go. Line 3. There we go. Does that sound better? It's because I cleaned out my computer, and hopefully that sounds fine now. I will wait for your response. All right, I think we're good. Okay, we've got thumbs up, hunky-dory. Yes, beautiful. Okay, we're back in. So, as I was explaining, the people need to know, how do you sit down? The people need to know, do you sit down or stand up to wipe your butt? Well, considering the fact that's why I was 5 minutes late, I sit down. So, talking about materials, actually what I might do is I might open up the previous version, the actual version of our ship, which material-wise looks fantastic. Richo, welcome. So the actual ship here that we built weeks, months ago, maybe even a year ago, we built this ship. But only recently I found a really nice material to slap it on. And so this here, I love this material. L238, hey. The material looks absolutely gorgeous on this ship, but baking materials is the worst. I've already got a few add-ons here and there, but I haven't been able to find a really good workflow for them yet. I was getting some really weird textures and all that kind of stuff. Rubbish. Breaking news: a British man was killed by a shark while on his honeymoon in Australia. Reports say he didn't suffer too long, as he was only married for 3 days. That's good. That's good. I approve. Well, let's, we're kicking off with the terrible jokes. And for those of you who like the terrible jokes, like and subscribe, if you know what I'm saying. Here we go. Can't say that one. Defibrillators repulse me. Oh, no, I've already gone through these ones. Oh, they're last week's ones. Amateur. Graphic Studio, hey. I'm planning on working with Blender team for baking. I want to bring back texture nodes or roll it into the UV workflow. He's looking left. Marco's looking left, and the regular stream is looking right. So, sidetracked completely. So, someone just subscribed. Who was that? JG Unreal, welcome to the stream. Because I think, hang on, in the main screen, I'm facing this way, which means like all my work is that way. Where it would look really weird if I'm looking this way, and all my work is that way. So that's kind of why. If you like bad jokes, like and subscribe. Cause oh yes. How do you maintain the texture on Blender Mesh in Unreal fast? What? No. So, what I've been doing is, this was the previous mesh, and you can actually see, the rendering's not too bad. But then when we come over to our other blend file, this renders so much faster. And that's because there's no nodes attached to, no nodes. There's no like ambient occlusion and all that kind of stuff. And it still looks pretty good from here. But once we start coming in close, we start seeing all those imperfections. So this is me now having to come in and start cleaning up the UV engine. Does anyone know how to bake glass material? I don't bother. I just put a glass shader over it. Done. Make it a bit transparent. And if you don't like them, they subscribe as well. Made a spaceship in SketchUp and it was pretty easy. Whatever works, works. Don't forget the screen caps. Screen caps. Yes. Screencast keys. So rendering wise using this, it's like great. Bringing it over to Unreal Engine. Oh man, like this is so much better. But I now have to work a bit more on the materials and all the UV unwrapping like really starts popping out all my mistakes. Sweet, somebody else just joined. Enrico, welcome to the stream. So they all kind of, yeah, all the mistakes start coming out. Obviously I can see up here, I kind of stuffed up having UV unwrap that properly. What is that? I don't know what that is. But at the end of the day, it still looks quite nice. A little bit dark in here. But if we were to go into... How do I add? Trying to get back into Unreal Engine a bit. So if we go into a rectangular light... I lost it. Let it go. Oh, are you my rectangular light? Yeah, you are. Sweet. So if we just kind of snap that around... Far out, everyone's coming in again. No! Far out, Richo. Why? Thank you for a good start to the stream there, Richo. Now you'll be dancing for hours. Jeez. All right, we'll let that go for a bit. I appreciate you, Richo, as always. With oh, have you seen the video from a... No, I don't know. So looking at this, like, it looks quite nice, and it's performance-wise so good. Bringing this in. Oh my goodness, sorry. Rusty with Unreal Engine. I think it does work quite well, this ship. The console here looks great. I don't really like the seats as much. I kind of want to work on them. Just mute the notifications. I think they're just going through now. They're just there. The chairs, yeah, they need a little bit more work. But I can tell you now, you know who can make a good chair? This jerk right here. And yeah, I know it's pretty early. But Spooky's in the chat here. His chairs are pretty schmick. Oh, so those are the back ones. No. Go to the other ones. Yeah, these ones. These ones look nice, dude. Very, very good. Far out, Richard. I appreciate it, buddy. Just gonna keep going. Yeah, Spooky's chair are a lot better. Makes me rethink on how I want to go back and redo my chairs. They just keep going. But overall, I like the shape of this ship. One big problem is decals. So I've got like a bit of a decal material here, but the PNG just won't come across for some reason. I don't know why. But overall, the ship looks nice. But rendering wise, it's all going to be done in Unreal Engine. Illumo2UV, welcome to the stream. I was playing with Unreal Engine trying to get like a flight sim working. So then that way I can fly the ship around and record the path, because then that'll hopefully make life easier. Not as easy as it flies out. Not as easy as it looks. So, but yeah, if we kind of go back into this as well, yeah, my door's here. I don't know why. I do know why. No, I don't know why. But far out. This building here, I'm really liking how this is coming along, and so that's when we start bringing in those characters. They're going to look great, and that rendering wise is going to be good as well, because we can render 4K textures quite quickly. And the other thing is that we do have a whole bunch of assets that we could probably bring in as well. So for instance, now, rather than having to remake these, we can just kind of just start dumping these in willy-nilly without really thinking, and then you can see how quickly we can build this set. And obviously if we want to hide stuff, let's just go over there real quick. These are more obviously internal stuff, but we can just kind of move stuff around, whatever, water tank. So this is why I'm really starting to move through Unreal Engine. Is there no way I can export from Blender and maintain the materials? Absolutely not. Because, we can explain this why. If we go actually not into this file, we'll go into this file. If we have a look at the shader editor, let's pick this material. There is no I can't even find it. Let's get back up. It's still going. There's like some nodes, such as the ambient occlusion node. That node doesn't exist in Unreal Engine. As far as I know, I can't find it. But like that one doesn't exist. The way normal maps exist in Unreal Engine. So if we were to come into here, select our ship, come into here. This is a bad example. But our normal maps can go directly into the normal PBR shader. So it's just the fact that they just don't exist. Did you figure out the rendering issue with the light in the cockpit, or is that why you changed Unreal Engine? I remember a problem. What was the problem? What was the problem in the cockpit where it wasn't rendering properly? Oh, no. Yes. Okay. I know what we're talking about. So in Blender, the further you are away from the origin point, so if I were to pick all this up, and we went G, Y, 5000, we should start getting rendering issues when we get really close. Did I go 5000? What? G, Y, 5, 1, 2, 3. Enter. Hang on. 10,000. We start, yeah. So the further we are from the origin point, you can see that we start getting these issues coming through. So what I ended up doing, far out. What I ended up doing with that one shot, Dude Rock, welcome. Jamie, welcome. J90, welcome. Mr. Maquette, Fraz, Arad, welcome to the stream. Wow, it's still going. Yeah, so we have this problem. Baked textures are sort of a standard of their own, just a way to supply render engine with data. But you need to do is set up what images mean. US solves that, correct. So keeping the materials nice and simple, you'll get that. Baking it all out, as frustrating as it is, that's what you got to do to keep that material quality. If you want to have all those, hurry out. If you want all those shaders, let's just go Control Z, Control Z, Control Z, Control Z. There we go. But yeah, going back to that, now you can see that we don't have any of those rendering issues. So the further you are, Fraz, welcome. The further you are from the origin point in Blender, the more issues you're going to have with rendering. Really weird. It stopped. I fixed it. Oh gosh. Thank you, Mr. Richard. Whereas in obviously Unreal Engine, we can go as far as we want, but that's kind of the the what are we going to say? What do you want to do? You can either go, you can either set all your materials up in Blender and focus on rendering in Blender, or focus on baking in Blender and then bringing it across, or simplify the materials and use it in Unreal Engine. Obviously, once you bake everything once, then it comes over fine. But then, yeah. So that's why I've kind of gone down the DreamUV route, and where I can just quickly use DreamUV to texture stuff, and we kind of go there. Just wrap up Unreal, you can import an AO map. Connect to the AO channel. Yes. So there is that. If we come into here, yeah, but then the ambient occlusion channel's right there. So we're saying if I can bump that up to 5, it'll actually do something. Nah. I don't see it. Mind you, I'm not even sure if I'm using lumens. I don't even have to check that. That's a future market problem about looking into that. Special feature rendering is called procedural grime drips. You need to bake it into a PNG because USD standards don't support it. Yeah, and Unreal Engine's all about... I lie. We are moving more towards USD to a standard file format, just like which came first? OBJ, FBX? I want to say OBJ came first, but I think I'm wrong with that one. I remember looking into this stuff. I think FBX, you can have all your textures and everything in the file. Sorry, what I'm actually making. So this is, doing a bit of a web series here, but we're going to be rendering it in Unreal Engine. I think once this web series is done, it's either, depending on the success of it, we'll do another one. I do have an itch to do VR escape rooms. It's kind of like, yeah, go and do it. But then also I kind of want to go back into doing 3D printing and all that kind of stuff. So, I don't know. Future market problem. So, yeah. But that's kind of like what I wanted to talk about. I've been talking about this for like 20 minutes now, haven't I? Oh, whatever. So I will probably end up doing a tutorial on like why these doors are broken and what are some things you can look into. I know why these are broken now because I tried to fix them earlier. FBX is more for animation than geometry. OBJ is uncompressed geometry data. Export a cube and open it in a text file. We're okay. Only a few of those games, but they are fun. Oh, I've got the itch for virtual escape rooms. Oh my goodness, they're so much fun. I'm gonna leave that there. I really like this ship, but I really wanted to talk about, just DreamUV and the texturing process. Because, that's going to be a big part of my workflow. How to use your VFX? I don't. Pretty much the only one that I have is if we crack, not that one, this one? Nope. If we crack open web series, nope. Renders. The only one that I really have VFX wise is this explosion down here. There it is. And that was just using Embergen. So kind of like just slap that together. Fabio, welcome to the stream. For those of you on the shorts, yeah, feel free to subscribe. Really helps me out. How about a VR smash room? Take your rage out. Well, I've got very limited space in here, and I know that I'd probably take something else out. The other thing that we've been working on, I might just come back to this ship in a sec, because far out, I love this ship, is coming back to this capital ship. Oh my goodness! It has been frustrating trying to get a really nice workflow happening. Weird. I did try and go down the texture route as well. Funny Cat, welcome. Of just doing a very simple texture like this, and then using something like random flow, and the other one is Mark Kingsnorth's paneling add-on. Didn't really get what I was after. So I think what I'm just going to have to do is come in and just manually chop these up into shapes that I like. Really been going backwards and forths with Hanzo's like process, and I can see by the looks of it, he's just done it all manually. Here, I'm using the paneling add-on, and so you can see like it's got nice panels and such, but I don't think that's really what I'm after. So I'm thinking more square and boxy. I'm hoping that comes through the stream. It looks nice, but yeah, it's just it's not quite as there, you know. Do you do all your games in Unreal Engine? When I do games, yeah. I work in UE for projects, but Unity seems more stable, more open source in a sense. So the reason, good question. The reason why I'm going with Unreal Engine is because I can't program to save the life of me. Technically got ChatGPT now, but Unreal Engine is free until you've made $1 million. At that point, I'm probably more than happy to, you know, pay fees. Whereas with Unity, I know you got to obviously buy your license and all that kind of stuff, but still. Have you dabbled into making a game in Unreal with blueprints? Yes. If we all know 3D modeling stuff, can we do it? Yes, you can. It is pretty stinking easy. Plenty of tutorials out there. This goes, you know what? Can't show that. I don't know what that one is. That's the web series. Test project files. I don't have anything to show right now. Riponya, welcome to the stream. Godot. I have done Godot, and we have built a game in Godot. What is this? Oh, that's something else. With Unreal Engine, you've got this content examples, and this is where you've got a project that has all those controls in there with all the blueprints set up, and then that way when you start reading it, you can kind of work backwards. I don't like Ryan King Art's procedural ship stuff. That is not my cup of noodles, that one. Unreal Engine's built for artists? Yeah, I'd accept that one. But I mean, you got Satisfactory, one of the best games ever made in Unreal Engine. I mean, one of the best games ever made. Or rather, all the work put into the modeling and animation into a game engine seems like a lot of work. I just don't care to add to my workflow. So, this goes down to the question around rendering. And rendering, like for instance here. So if I were to go Shift A, camera, Control Numpad 0, GZZ, GZZ, F12. Six frames, 6 seconds, 6.5 seconds to render that one image. Where with Unreal Engine, we are rendering 4K like so quick. So that's kind of why I'm thinking more moving that way. Arc Raider is also Unreal Engine 5. Oh, interesting. I am thinking about playing that. Also very much value path tracing and very advanced techniques. I'm a post-production VFX artist. Yeah, I'm not that at all. What's the hardest part of Unreal Engine? I think it's more just learning another tool. I think is probably the hardest part. Because at the end of the day, yeah, you're learning another tool. And obviously, if you've got the patience to learn another tool, great. But I'm just going to go Shift D, P, separate by selection. Come on, where is it? Where is she? That one. But overall, it's not bad. What GPUs do you have? I've just got a 5090. I need plates. I don't need the passes. I don't need passes. I need... But then, yeah, if you're doing multiple passes, then it would take even longer to render. Yeah, see, and this is my mentality of I just want stuff done. Let's go 0.1. And we'll go, oops, we'll go 0. We will do, click on this. And so I'm just going to just focus a little bit on plates just for now. And then we'll come back in and, we'll move on to other things. That actually needs a bevel. Yeah, well. So the reason why we don't have bevels is because we're basing it off a ship that is hidden. Where's my ship? I don't know. There's a hidden ship in the distance. And this is something that we're working on for the past 2 weeks. But I'm just going to do a little bit of plating now. I was doing it manually here and there. Let's go like this. Do here and here. Delete faces. And then when we come into rendered mode, that's fine. I don't like this texture, but that's a problem we're going to fix a little bit later. Generate bevel. This was just kind of like I just needed something for now. And then just going to quickly chop some of this up. Control B. Kind of just going through. Oh, crud. I deleted that. Let's just undelete that. I thought there was a gap there. And so this is what I was playing around with. So when we've got these panels, and you can see now the texture is very repeatable. Passes are in the RAM. Oh, okay. I could imagine making a path tracer without Z depth. That's the kind of stuff I need to learn in terms of all the composition, all that. It's one thing I suck. I suck. Things can be better. But yeah, that's something I've got to sit down and try and work out as well. So just doing a few choppy chops. And then we can move into some other things as well. But I just kind of like wanted to show you the way I would be doing this. So I'm just going to, come on. Bam, bam. Control, whoops. Control B. Delete faces. Just trying not to have anything like too repetitive. Oops, that was a terrible one. There we go. Delete faces. And so we've got this amount of panels. Not the biggest fan of that texture. What's Plander? Plander? Blender. I'd love to see your workflow. Thanks for just being on. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Brian. Brian Ace Jackson. I appreciate that. If you've got any questions, Brian, hit me up on Discord. Yeah. Let me know. More than happy to answer stuff. I try my best with all the videos that I make, even though there's been a lack of videos, but that's fine. So what I'm just going to do now is I'm just going to add just some final details. GG. Just going to do some of my signature stuff, I guess. That way you know it's a Markham 3D model. If you want to call it that. So just putting in inserts. And then kind of see how those inserts are coming along, which is great. Let's do one here. Control B. Where can I find your Discord? Oh, there's a link down the below somewhere. Let me... I gotta disable that. Let's go that. Right click. Invite to channel. Copy. Let me get you there. That and that. That should send you there. Arc Law. I don't know what that's referencing. But yeah, the question is, should I play Arc? I do have a secondary channel that I play with the boys, Gaming in the Can. And we're contemplating on playing Arc, but we're just... is the normal response. Alright, that's good enough. So, what I want to show you, so we've chopped up some of these panels. However, we've got that repeating texture. The way I've been doing this, just to make it look a little bit better. Hang on. Is this material object? It's generated. All right, so we've got to change it to UV map. Then when we come over into UV editing, and then when we're in rendered mode, we can see that we've got that. Yeah, much better. But I'm going to deselect everything. Yep. And then from here, I'm going to go space, select random. I'm going to go down to 0.1, and we'll go into faces. So select random. And then I'm just going to start. Oops. Oh, darn it. Oh, darn it. Project. Project from view. There we go. Awesome. Now, select that random. Control L, G. Select random. Control L, G. I reckon this is probably Blender add-on. Select L, Control L, G. Select random. Select random, Control L, G. And so what that is doing now is it's not making that texture kind of go repeatable all the way through. Watching someone work almost 10 years older than you gives you the real experience. Yep. Oh, Gaming in the Can. Speak of the devil. Look. Knife tool is great for cutting unique cuts or box cutter. We've spoken about box cutter. Love it, so dumb fun. Oh gosh, I have 10,000 hours playing and making mods now, right? Or are we getting some Ian Hubert action? Maybe, I guess, in a way. The reason why I'm UV unwrapping like this is I'm now thinking, it's like UV magic but in reverse. I'm now already thinking, actually, you know what? That's actually really smart. Smart UV project. Okay. That was pretty much almost the best way to do it. Screw you, Nub Nub. Do you post tutorials of modeling and baking multiple textures into one image? I do. One of my oldest videos, and is still relevant, and is what's keeping my channel alive, is that. So, yeah. Going back into that Unreal Engine, that's what I'm already thinking about, is how do I have a simple material that I can now take to Unreal Engine, and the materials are just set up. So that's kind of stuff that I'm always thinking about. So when I'm going through and creating something like this, that's kind of like that mindset. I'm not too concerned now about poly count because Unreal Engine's got nanite and we can do all that kind of stuff. Do you have any sort of tutorials on these floors? I just popped in and I'm doing an interior. Well, I mean, it is for a giant spaceship. Oh, gosh. Ollie, can you send me a message on Discord? If you scroll up a little bit, there's a link. And if you can find an image, yeah, I can probably make it. You should make some of the parts and the texture darker parts. Great. Great comment. So let's go with, we're going to call this M exterior underscore light whatevs. Let's go new light. We'll double it and then we'll go dark. Then we can come in here. Let's go here. Then we can just select 1, 2, skadoo. Maybe these ones as well. You as well. Then we can come into assign that one. Let's go back into layout. And now we've got those darker panels. So, yeah. Great. Great suggestion. Let me know when you find out. I'd love to learn. Oh, gosh. What are we talking about? 10,000 hours. Are we talking about floors? Hard part thing about the hard part with things that are supposed to be huge is trying to figure out how to make grunge work at that scale. Correct. So that's why I've kind of gone with just like large paneling. I appreciate following a naming conversation. It's beautiful. Well, hang on. Cube. These are all my greebles. So, yeah. But I was like reflecting on these. These look really nice. I'm pretty chuffed about those ones that we created last week. Just some nice cannons. But yeah, I'm very happy with how that's created. Now, I don't really have a plan for this stream. This is more going to be a little bit bits and pieces of work on this ship, a little bit talking about Unreal Engine. This thing finally opened. So if you are into Unreal Engine, the example project is the way to go, because what we can do here is then we can come into the maps, and depending on what you want to do, this is where you can come in and kind of like learn AI stuff. Interesting. Animations, geometry. Hang on, do we have interactions? Physics? Yeah, look at this. Destruction. But are the cannons canon? They are canon. I can forgive and forget. Alright, I'm waiting for this to open. And so once you're here in Unreal and you've downloaded, like you've opened up the main thing, we can kind of come in. Do I have to do something? Can you open up? Shoot the glowing. There we go. This is where you kind of have all your mechanics and all that kind of stuff where you can come in. Read. Can I shoot? That's pretty cool. What's that do? Oh. Semi-reason why I want to go back into Unreal Engine. Because there's so many cool things you can do. Okay, or not. It's a bit laggy, but that's fine. Oh. How cool is that? Anyway, we'll get out of Unreal Engine. So, those are fun, using it for basics. Yeah, only 2 network errors left to fix. Chaos physics. But the thing is, like, the physics stuff just works. Aged and repaired, you could paint, faded, and some of the panels. Yeah, and so that's what we kind of tried to do with this ship. But the problem is baking it out, like mentioned last time. However, I did create some decals that we can throw on the wings, and that's given us some of that grunge. Just curious what your workflow, and are you going for rendered or real time? Well, Unreal Engine's all going to be rendered, so you look tired. Oh, you got no idea. When you open a delete default cube and then add a cube. Absolutely, completely agree. No one on Twitch is talking. Screw you guys. No. Don't. So I like this, I like this, I like this. I wouldn't mind designing another ship as per usual. Kind of like in between this one and our bomber ones that we've worked on. So I'll bring in the other 2 ships that we've done. Actually, I'll just bring in the one. So I'm just going to go link. Up we go. Go to the web series. Up one more. Web series, ships, capital. Oh gosh, which one is it? Medium stealth, here we go. Collection. There we go. So this is our kind of like our bomber ship that we created. And so I wouldn't mind one in between these 2. Purposely designed it for that stealth aesthetics. And so I know it looks rather janky, but that's just kind of like the view we went for. So if I go file link, this one? Yep. This one? Oh, get stuffed. Not that one. Crud. That's interesting. File link. File link. There it is. Shift S cursor selected. Shift S selection to cursor. So yeah, these are the 2 ships that we created. Hi, Bleak. Sweaty Michael. Little things are visible. How do you do that? Watch the stream. Right, it's Kitbashing. But you make the ships to form instead of peculiar shapes to make the model. Yeah. Someone really needs to develop an AI add-on that handles UV unwrapping. Yes, I agree with that. I do think, though, let me bring it up. If we go, what's it called? This one here is obviously a great add-on. UV Packmaster doesn't do baking though. Maybe I should ping him and ask him. If I don't think about it, kind of looks like a moth. Well, I'll accept that. I haven't achieved anything. There's this old stuff called Alchemy. I've heard of Alchemy. Yeah. So, main ships. I'm just trying to go through the script now. I think let's go ahead and bring in... I'm actually not going to save this now because... Yeah, fine. Sweet. I did it right. Cool. Let's go into File. Open. Now, we've got to find a bit of an old blend file. It's called Warehouse. Warehouse. There it is. That's the one I want. So nope, this isn't the one that I want. It's not called Warehouse. What's it called? There's Toaster Face. Toaster Face goes into this scene. Forest Landing Pad is that one, which is fine. It's not External Workshop, I don't think. Nope. Oh, it's an old file. Oh, crud. Dreadnought, John Hall's External Workshop. Repair Shop? No, Repair Shop's that one. Oh, crud, where is it? I feel like I opened it not long ago. No, it's not John Haller's office. It's not the Marketplace. Marketplace is that tunnel one that we created. This is June. Maybe it is. Hang on. Web series, scenes, scene 1, locations, home base. Oh, there it is. Oh, that's the one that I wanted. There we go. Hello, darling. How are you? Get out of here. So, this is something that we built a while back. And now I've kind of started transferring this across to be a Unreal Engine file, because this has to go over to Unreal Engine. Kitbashing using leftovers. Yep. And so I do have a link in the description to all my kitbashing sets. I do have a free version. Here's my buildings kitbashing set, even though it's not really a kitbashing set for buildings. The one that I mainly use for building all my ships is this one here. And so we can kind of, if we really wanted to quickly make a ship. Wow. Where is my cockpit? Whoops. Whatevs. Bam, 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 bam. It's actually not. Actually, I like that shape. Okay, let me just get rid of... There we go. Huh. Interesting. Then we can dump some wings on there. Where are my wings? Nice. Anyway. Have you modeled the Millennium Falcon? I bet you have. I haven't, actually. I want you to touch it. Oh. Jeez. Touch it. Gosh. Mr. Rochi, welcome. Is it possible there's a level of psychologist in designing fires, bombs, similar to animals, such as, there is an artist who will take photos of like everyday objects. I'm going to type in head and shoulders spaceship. Come on. Here it is. So like this guy here got a bottle of head and shoulders and then made it into a spaceship. That's pretty cool. And he's done a few of them. I don't know. Oh, look. So then he's got like a razor here. Turned into a spaceship. So yeah, some people do that. Do that with like objects. This one could be a dragonfly. Yeah. I mean, technically, we could even like animate the heck out of it, and then it's like a like a quadcopter. Am I German? No. Australian, mate. Hey, jeez. Go back to Twitch. There we go. So, coming back into here. I will get rid of all these buildings because I don't need these buildings right now. Something we'll clear out a bit later. That was a machine that we wanted in the back corner. So that's kind of like one of the reasons why I try and focus on having clean textures. Because this is all now a simple texture map. And so if we go into shading, all it is nothing but textures, except for an ambient occlusion in there, which I'm going to have to get rid of. Then this one here is a little bit more complex. That's no good. Going to have to get rid of that one. I'm going to get rid of that person, though. Oop, hiccups. Remove character. Get out of your character. Awesome. Let's just do a Control S to save that now. And then I do like back here with all my, like a bit of a workshop. So this is where probably make it a bit darker. The heck? That needs to be redone. Oh my goodness, there's so much rework on this. All right, let's fix all this stuff. What is this? Okay, that's the volumetrics. We can get rid of that. Beautiful. The heck was I doing? Ah, yeah, I remember. I slapped all these together. Left you more of his stuff on Discord. Yeah. Yeah, there we go. Tongs. And then can opener. What's that? Is it like a hinge or something? And then a peeler. So that's kind of cool. I really like that. Getting inspiration from there. Rui, yeah, I think I've seen him. I think I know who you're talking about, Mark. Mix up our accents, sorry, but Scottish, Irish, and Aussies. Yeah, because if you're Stephen Scott, you'll be all right, fellas. Hey. I hope to never run into him. He will shoot me. Trending worldwide. Welcome to the stream. So, yeah, let's fix this up. This actually needs a lot more details. So, because this is actually going to be one of the first scenes in the web series, so we're going to slowly start applying some of the modifiers. So this one here, Control A. Let's go U. Oh, yeah, let's go ahead and start bringing in my DreamUV textures. And so this is what I've been doing for a lot of it. Plop U, DreamUV. Okay, you can go away now for a sec. DreamUV. You come there, okay. And then we can select this. We can go into a hotspot, put over our concrete. Concrete 03 looks pretty good. We might have to split that up a bit, purely because it's not designed to be so big. Control E, mark seam. So now when we go into hotspot, we should see a whole bunch of slots. Now they're there. I do want to fix up these pylons here. This wall I wouldn't mind redone. Let's do that. Go into a hotspot. Ugh, brother, what's that? You know what? I'm just going to leave it as that. That looks great. Nice and worn out. Buy that for $1. Let's clean these up so they look a little bit better. Actually, looks like one from the front view full flight. Okay, let's come over into here. What are we going to do here that's going to be a little bit more special? I don't know. Oh, the other one was a can opener. I see what you're saying now. I hear what you're putting down. How can this be a little bit more interesting? Maybe what we can do. Let's grab this scale. Scale on the y-axis. Scale on the Z. Let's push it in a bit. Something like that. There we go. And it's going to be kind of like a bit of an I-beam. Oops. Scale Y. And then that can give us some extra depth in there. I reckon that'll probably look real nice. If we now go ahead and DreamUV that puppy. Omar, welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing well. If anyone else that's new, hey, hit subscribe. Let's see if we can hit the 97,000 mark tonight. I don't even know what it is. Where are we? If I click on this. How do I get there? Where are we? Oh, we hit 97,000. Yes! Can we do? Can we do it? Can we go up to 97,100? Here we are. Look at that. Look at that glorious number, baby. See if we can get up to 100. I'll be very chuffed. Fun fact, Halo Pelicans, good old Pelicans, are contractually obligated to get one shot down if flying in groups of larger than 3. What? I don't understand this. Okay, let's go with the grunge. We're going to put number 3 on there, and then we'll bring in Control L, assign, and we will make this. Do we go red? What does that look like? I do like that. I think that's all right. Oh, I forgot about this light. How glorious light does this look? That looks pretty suave. We do need to, because we will DreamUV unwrap this. So we just got to make some relief cuts, or DreamUV will have a heart attack. Control E, mark seam. And then maybe one from above as well. There and there. Control E, mark seam. So now Control S to save. We do into a hotspot. Nice. Then we can give it dark grey. What does that look like now? Yes, that's great. I wouldn't mind adding in some more in there. That I don't understand. This sounded very. I don't understand this. I know. Gogolash. Counts as a tax deduction. I don't know what that is. It reminds me of Architecture Naboo. Kind of. A smidgen. I will accept that. Let's go this here. That's weird. And we will add in... Do I have a rubber color? So in this list here, we can see that we've got a ton of materials and a whole bunch of them have 0 next to it, which mean that they're kind of irrelevant. So I can go File, External Data, nope, Clean Up, Purge Unused Data, 14 objects, 19 meshes, 12 shape keys, 90 materials, blah, 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 202 objects, yeah, clear. And that's kind of cleaned up a whole bunch of stuff. I can still see that we've got some materials in here, which is weird. I don't know where they came from. Huh. I don't know. Why is the screen so small? That is because I'm streaming vertically there. If you go up, if you go to my channel, there is the horizontal stream. You can go watch there and you'll see the full thing. I watched cutscene. I believe Master Johnson gets shot down in one. I don't know. I don't know what we're talking about. Let's go into m_rubber because I need a black material. And the roughness goes up. We select this. Control L. Control L. Control L. That should be all the metal stuff. That is not all the metal stuff. Control L. Control L. Assign. Control I to invert my selection, and then assign. And then when we come in here, we should see black cables. Awesome. That's great. So that's coming to life really good. Subscribed. Awesome. Tata man. Tata man. I used to be really interested in 3D stuff, and then I got really disappointed with all the AI stuff. You remind me that I find this cool. It is a struggle, but I do this for fun. It's not my job, even though I wish it was, but it's not. One thing I have been doing to prevent duplicates of material is once a model is complete, I remove all the textures and put in all the parts into a new folder and then add the materials again. Well, I think what I've been doing a lot is obviously when we start bringing in objects from like the libraries, they will obviously come in with their own materials. It's important to get rid of the ones with the numbers. That's the most important thing, because then when we export, we're hunky-dory. Unreal Engine is really good at finding duplicate materials, and then it'll just use that one. If there's something already with that name, it'll just use that one, which is awesome. Oh, I don't really know if this light fits the place. Looks more like a place for heavy-duty industrial. I do kind of agree. It just I kind of like the look of it. That's why I put it in there. I'm actually thinking, for those of you who are the Star Citizen peeps, the lights in the foyer of Stan's the main thing. The industrial place. The triangle-y ones. I love those lights. They're so good. Do I? No, I'm going to keep this one for now. But I'm going to quickly model up some triangle lights. So let's go into object mode. We'll go into plane. Whoops. Let's go over here. Period key. Over there, mate. Scale. Scale 0. Scale X. That looks about right. Select all, merge by distance. From here, we're going to press I to do an inset, delete faces. Let's go E to extrude. Might just do a small incy-wincy bevel. And then let's do something like that. And we'll do E to extrude ever so slightly. Let's create two materials. And this one here is going to be our light material. Light. Material control lights. Let's go emission light blue. And we'll assign that. And then the cool thing is that I love what Star Citizen have is they've got this kind of funky lighting setup. No, this is blunder. Maya, get out of here. Hello from Las Vegas. Hello, Ninja. Hi, buddy. Recently stumbled across the videos that had helped a ton. Awesome. I don't suppose you have any advice on making a realistic hedgerow? Oh, hedgerow. Ugh, plants. No. I do not. I haven't delved much with plants. Because normally if I need to make something, I'll just use something like Botaniq by the Pylon crew, or what's the other one that I use? Oop. The other one that I use. Oh gosh, he's going to kill me. I don't know. It's like Forester add-on. Gosh, shooting blanks on that one. Okay, anyway, let's kind of continue on with this. I'm going to just quickly join all these up. Control J to join, and I'll show you what I'm thinking about here. Let's go there. Shift S, cursor selected, and then from here we go mesh. From here we go mesh. Let's add in the cylinder. Kind of overkill on that. Doesn't really matter. Let's go I to do that, and then we go E to extrude. So this here will just make our black M underscore rubber, because we know that's black. And then what I'm going to do now, Shift E, and we're just kind of making this is what it's hanging from. I can't remember that place in Star Citizen now. The industrial looking one. Who's my... Nubnub, are you my Star Citizen player? And then we'll just quickly do that. GZ. Put that into place. Oops. Trying to be artsy-fartsy. GZ. You go down. Are you in? You're in. That's what she said. There we go. There we go. Keep going. We're almost done. Few more. And I can show you what I was thinking about. It's kind of cool. I like that. I do need to give this a material, so we'll make it N. Hotspot, will it blend? It did. Nice. We will put in, I need like a black. And then we go here, Control J to join. And so the idea that I was thinking about, yeah, maybe over the workshop. No! Hang on, what the? Oops. Let's maybe grab everything. Control J to join. Then we still have that. Sorry. Love your watch. Do you shave? What the heck? What am I meant to do with that? Oh boy. Lawville, thank you. Lawville, yes. Sorry, that was interesting. Ah, yeah, look at that. I mean, I like it. We could probably even maybe just duplicate that around. That's kind of cool. Someone just joined. Who was that? Sajit, welcome to the stream. Anyone else out there? Hey, give us a subscribe. Let's see, what are we at? Nice. Come on, let's go. Let's go 97,100. See if we can hit that number. We're on the roll. We're on the road to 100,000. You've got some goofy comments on your live stream. Yeah. Are you trying to make a game or just an environment? So I'm just making an environment. So this is for an animated web series. Sorry, probably should say that. So this is all for an animated web series that we are going to be rendering in Unreal Engine. So we'll be exporting it, put it into there. That's why I'm focusing on using DreamUV, because it's all textured. I don't have to bake anything, blah, blah, blah. What are you doing? Going to light them. Are you going to light them? Yeah. So what I've done is I've just put on an emission texture just for now. So there is that light. But yeah, live stream is right. Live stream is right. You're pest. Get out of his hair. Get out. I don't have 100 YouTube accounts. Great feng shui skills. Thanks. Yeah, this is good. This is going to be a little bit of a pain in the bum chopping this up. January Summers, welcome to the stream. Thank you. Gained subs, and I lost one. Oh gosh. Speaking of that, if I click on the... Oh, what did I do? Oh, undo. Sorry. Whoopsie doodle. So as I was showing earlier, let me just go back into Discord. As I was showing earlier, Spooky has got a really great series happening around him modeling. So these chairs are looking schmick. We showed these off earlier. So go check out his channel. Can you tell me how to import everything into Unreal Engine? I mean, how to put these textures back on a model. So I've got a few videos on this. When was a question about Marcus' main crew full of 3 modelers hang out on the landscape version of the stream because yes. So if we go this one here, this is a great example of a material. This is decal machine. These materials won't work. Unreal Engine does have the multiply. Ow. Might not have the layer weight. Doesn't actually have a node for normal maps. Has a multiplier. Doesn't have that one in a way. So this is why I've kind of gone down the DreamUV route and exporting it like this. Actually, you know what? Let's just give it a test. I'm going to go Control S to save. I'm going to select everything. File. Export. FBX. Scene. Home base. Yeah, I don't care. Let's just go export FBX. Cool. Let's now jump into Unreal Engine. I will go File, New Level. Let's go Basic. Yep, I'm happy for that to be saved. It's It's not that hard to put. It's just, you know, some of the textures. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, continue, whatever. Sure, whatever, I don't care. I will look into that later. Coming into here, let's come over into locations, right click, new folder. This is going to be ep1 underscore home base. Crack open that folder. All I'm going to do now, web series, locations, home base. No. Before I do that, I'm going to go back into here. I'm going to go file, external data, pack, all that. Now, whatever, I don't care. Then I am going to get rid of all these textures because all our textures are now part of this blend file. File, external data, unpack resources, and that's now going to put it into the textures folder. So you can see now all our textures have come back. Perfect. Let's go Control S to save. File, export, FBX, that one, export. Now we come into Unreal Engine. Go away. Now we come into Real Engine. Let's grab our FBX, dump that one into there. Give it a sec. So the modeling questions are the best answer. Yeah. I'm about to sleep, but spooky and so are over there. Correct. How do you get it to show your sorry cut screen? So there's a Blender add-on called Screencast Keys. And that's a free one that comes with Blender as well. You just got to turn it on. We come into here now. Blah, blah, blah. I don't care. The materials are the important one. And I want to identify duplicate materials. And now we'll go import. This is going to take a little bit. It's going to import all this stuff. Now, the really cool thing that I like is that, let's say something doesn't work in Unreal Engine how I hoped it would. Darn it, it's come in as individual things. Oh well. If something doesn't come in the way I wanted it to come in, then I can just go back into Blender, do my change, save as FBX, and then when we're in Unreal Engine, I can just click on a piece, right click, re-import, and it's going to re-import all that information. This is annoying. Can I filter by type? What? I can't filter by type. Oh, ploppers. Let's go right click, new folder, materials. And I'm just going to quickly do this. You. So as we can see, we've got a whole bunch of broken materials. A little bit annoying. Move here. Get over there, mate. Go. All these textures, materials, all that. Whoops. You can go into materials. So I'm just cleaning this up real quick, because obviously we're going to have to come back and fix up all our materials. Actually, we can just do it this way. That, deselect. Yo. And go into materials. And then from here, we can click and drag this. And now you can kind of see all the materials that we have to fix. Ah, that looks so nice. That's a little bit annoying. So let's go. I'm pretty sure I've already got a light material in here. Light. Where is it? Sorry, I see someone just came in. lights, blue. Okay. We can just click and drag it on that one. Nice. And then if I select that, we click and drag it on that. And then I can select this, click and drag it on that. And then we can click and drag it on that. Yeah, nice. So obviously you can see there's a lot of rework now. I've got to redo all my textures on here. Yeah, I'm poking around good by myself. All right, let me go back up. What's so it's a game engine with really bad sort of lost the plot, doing what Unity does with dots and can't decide if it's a game engine or animation software. No, yeah. Well, the new stuff is really cool, but I'm still going to do it all in Blender. Telling you chat in Australia version of Mr. Beans. What? Thank you all. The origin needs to be at the center for all the objects to stay in the place after dropping them into a scene. Depends how you're doing this. Now, technically, these two objects, they're the same chair, but they're two different objects that I brought in. So really what I should have done in Blender, for instance, but I don't really care for it right now, is this chair should have gone Alt-G and Alt-R. That is now sitting on 0, in Blender. So now when we export it, the origin point of that chair is now correct. Why didn't you texture port over with that too? The reason why it didn't come over is because these materials don't have the same. So for instance, look at this material here. Okay, yes, we've got all our textures. However, Unreal Engine doesn't have this type of multiply node. It doesn't have this type of an add shader. It doesn't have a color ramp. It doesn't have ambient occlusion. So Unreal Engine's like, I'm just not going to do it then. So that's why now we have to come back in and recreate those materials. Hey, I want to start building an environment design. Where should I start? The best way to begin creating depends what you're trying to showcase. If you are trying to model a building as environment design portfolio, learn kitbashing. I think is the best way, is learn kitbashing. Because if you're especially starting out, you want to be able to just use assets to bring in to create your environment. Are you focusing on bringing in assets, or are you focusing on modeling each individual asset to build part of the larger environment? Yeah, depends what you want to focus on. For me, it's too much fluff. Creating textures twice to work in Unreal. I'm sticking with Blender. Yeah. It just comes back to those render times on how much time can be stuffed focusing on rendering. The other thing as well, the other thing that we have to think about is that with Unreal Engine, I'm starting to get a bit of a library of assets. So I've got a lot of things to pull from. So even though we've just brought that scene in, and I mean, we were talking about this earlier, even though I've just brought this scene in, I know I can come into, not trash. What is trash? Trash. Yeah. We have a bunch of stuff that we can use. So I can bring in some rocks. Lots and lots of rocks. Oh, that's a little bit too high. No, we had better ones. Location? No. Starter content? No. Industrial packs. There we go. And so this is where, yeah, this would be a prime example of dropping in some boxes and such. Filling in that space. Not there. And so this comes down to what is my main goal. Is my main goal is to build every asset, or is it to like build up the idea of creating an animation? And so that's kind of like the question that I have to argue with myself. Yeah. So, hence why. How cool is that? Bam. I've already added in like quite a bit of details. Oh, this works so well. Because you could scan in your own objects and bring them into photoreal. Yeah, you could do that as well. Absolutely. My guy modeled library is is literally trash. Gosh. But yeah, this is kind of like why I'm going to start focusing on Unreal. I love these lights. Hey, why didn't that turn on? All right, so this is something to be wary of with Unreal Engine. So as we can see, I can't see anything. We know that there's a light here because in here, if we have a look, we have a light, but that material didn't come across. With Unreal Engine, one really tricky thing they always have to be thinking about is your normals. So if I go into face orientation, we can see that it's bright red. So if I were to go Shift N, select that. Now we go File, Export, FBX. Actually, I do want to go Concrete 4. DreamUV Concrete 4, just so it's on the back wall there as well. What's on the roof? You can be Concrete 4 as well. Concrete 4. Control S to save. Now let's select everything. File, Export, FBX. Yes, Export. Now I can come back into Unreal Engine. Right click. Can I just do it here? Bah. Let's go back into home base. Right click, re-import. And then hopefully everything will just re-import and everyone will be happy. There we go. And so now, yeah, our lights have come in. So that's something to be very thoughtful about, is making sure, no, get stuffed. You're meant to be Concrete 4. Oh. Plano 2. Oh. So individual objects, it'll just re-import that. Plane 002, right click, re-import. Oh, that's weird. Why would it do that? What else? Concrete. DreamUV Concrete 4. Concrete 04. There we go. What else? Yeah, that was pretty schmick. The ground here, that's a decal, I'm pretty sure. So that's something I've got to fix up because that looks like rubbish. But yeah. Is this how games are made? Yeah. Yeah. And then coding and crud. Is there a good 3D app for scanning on the phone? Yes, there is. So one of them is that I've used is Reality Scan. So that's an Unreal Engine 1. And so if I open this, yep, give me a sec, let it load up, and I can kind of quickly show you what it looks like. So, focus on the screen, on there. And we can kind of see it does a pretty good job. So this is me 3D scanning a bobcat at church. Yes, we had a bobcat at church. And the quality is actually really nice. So, there's that one. Another great one is Polycam. I think that's improved a lot since it first came out. Right, I wish I bought the license a while ago, but I think reality capture you can do a lot more for free. So, is there one that works on Android? Yeah, I think both of them. I don't know about Polycam, but I'm pretty sure they should. If you go out 3D scanning, make sure you take a battery pack as well, because your phone will cook. And also to chew up your data. So we've got Polycam. I'm just typing that in chat. And then the other one is called Reality Scan. Or Reality Scan. The computer version is called Reality Capture. That's the one where you can use an SLR camera or whatever, and you run it on the computer. And then based off how many photos and blah, 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 you can then pay to export that model. It's normally pretty cheap. It's like $1 a model-ish. So you can capture HDR. Yes, but Unreal Engine 5.6 has a color ramp shader inside. Oh, sweet. Yeah, cool. Thanks, Skittles. So, but these are my next steps. I've got to now fix up this turntable, because the idea as well is, this is what I love, this kind of like instancing stuff. I can now grab my ship and we can just dump it in here. And because I didn't, oh, you clown. Hang on, let me actually go into the ship and then int material. No, light. It should be something like blue. Let's go orange. Control Z. Yeah, it's picked the wrong one there. Okay. Orange. No, not that one. That's the wrong one. Sorry, I'm just changing the material lights. Emission lights blue. I've stuffed up one of those materials, and then also is a glass. Glass. Where is the glass? I'm tired. Come on. Glass. I'm trying to find glass. I can't read glass. Where is the glass? Oh, it's one of these materials. Oh, I removed it. Clown. Decal. A U glass. M glass. There we go. Awesome. Control S to save. I can see those lights aren't on. Far out. Brussels sprout. What? I don't know why it's having a hissy fit. I reckon it's glass. Sure, I'm not going to make it master glass. Preparing shaders. Okay, we'll give that a sec. Ugh. Control S to save. I think something's gone wrong with this file. Far out. Brussels stinking spout. Has failed to save. No, continue. The following. I don't know why. That's a little bit frustrating. Anyway, but the cool thing is I can obviously bring in the ship and it's just kind of there. I do need to fix up the landing gears, so that's something I have to animate. Oh, what? Oh, gosh. What have you done, Marco? All right, I got to fix that up. But yeah, anyway, there we go. Do you model ship? Yes. Yes, I did. There's Luma too. Yep. I need to set all that kind of stuff up as well. It's 4K. What? HDRI needs very precise workflow. Yeah. Shut up, Siri. Yeah, completely agree. What are we on now? Let's have a look. Nice. All right. I think for now. Oh, no. Ooh. Scenes. Crud. Let's go ep 1 scene 2 underscore home base. Nice. And we'll go Control S to save, and that's looking delicious as is. I've stuffed up that material. I've got to fix all this up. That's fine. All right, let's call it a night for now. I don't know what to make. Leave me a message on Discord if you need to make me some tutorials. Mr. Richo, if you're still there, thank you very much. As always. Actually, are the boys on? Nah, they're not. All right, I'm going to call it a night. I'm cooked. As in, I'm tired. Yeah, if there's any tutorials you need me to talk about, I think I might do a tutorial about rigging this kind of stuff. Then we will. All right. For now, thank you and goodbye. Yes. Mimic.